Hello, everyone. Good evening, and we are back with another interview preparation strategies webinar. So, guys, I hope you guys are fine and healthy at your home. So, before we proceed this webinar, I would like to know that if I'm audible. So, guys, drop in your comments here and let me know that if I'm audible. Okay. By the time you guys are commenting on the comment box, so let me just give you a recap about this webinar. So we'll be discussing about the interview preparation strategies, that how can you use the interview experiences of others to formulate strategies for yourself and to prepare better. Okay, so waiting for your comments here, and let me know that if I'm audible. Just waiting for your comments, and let's engage with each other. Gives a thumbs up that if I'm audible to you. Okay, so comments, your comments. I'm not able to see any comment here apart from good, all the best wishes for Azzam. Please comment here and let me know that if I'm audible. Just give the thumbs up, and let's then we'll continue this webinar. Okay, so just a thumbs up, guys. Come on, don't be so lazy and just give comments. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Now, first comment, and I would really appreciate. Okay, thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Kamna. Okay, so let's not wait any more time and let's call Azzam Jafri to this stream. Hello, Azzam.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Yeah, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, you are audible. And we both are audible to the audience as
Okay.
per the comments we have. So, Azam, how's it been in this pandemic and, working at home or just sitting idle at the home?
No, actually, I'm not sitting idle. I'm not that type of guy who wants to sit idle. Actually, still I'm pursuing a GFG DSA course just to improve my DSA. Just
Okay,
as
so you
for,
are working hard.
yeah, you can say that. I had nothing else to do, so I had working on my DSS. So,
That's really great. Okay, so we had so much all the best wishes for you from the audience. So I'm sorry. So Azam, let's start this webinar with a brief introduction about yourself. So some points.
yeah, so hello everyone. Myself, Azzam Jafri. I am pursuing BTech in computer science from Jamia Milia Islamia University. I'm currently in final year. Talking about myself, I am not much into the academics. I was the type of the guy who was always found outside the class more than inside. Speaking of my technical experiences, I'm having around 5 to 6 internship experiences, along with 2 to 3 freelancing projects. I've worked on many tech stacks. Like I worked on React, on Django, on Spring Boot, Flutter, Firebase. It's just you name it, I worked on it. But I didn't restrict myself to only working with technologies and all. I was very active in cultural fest and hosting events and all. Yeah, so that's all.
Okay, that's really great. I'm so sorry. Okay, so Azam, let's discuss about the interview rounds. Let's go deeper into the interview round, like how many interview rounds were there, and if there was any technical round, or how what is the difficulty level of the questions. So let's discuss about the interview rounds. Okay.
Yeah, actually, in Avizva, there were 5 interview rounds. 5 interview rounds were there. And the first round was simple. It was the aptitude round plus technical MCQs. And it has 5 sections like technical MCQs, quantitative analysis, and all. And each section is an eliminating section. If you don't clear the cutoff for the each section, you won't be able to go through the next section. The difficulty level in FT is never difficult. Difficulty level in FT was easy. Technical questions was on DBMS and OOPS, so they were like code and they were pseudocodes. And after that, there was coding round. In coding round, I got 2 questions. First one was very easy. It was very easy. Actually, I don't even remember the question. The second one was the string and dynamic programming. And luckily, I cleared that round. And after that round, the HR called me and she said, "Yeah, you will be having an extra round, which is the cultural fit and domain round." So next day, I was having that cultural fit round. In that round, what I was asked is I was asked about myself, what my hobbies, what I like to do in free time, And there was an extra question that what I do when I got frustrated from coding and these things. And after that, she called me for the extempo round. In the extempo round, what happens is that there is a image on the screen. They show that image for 5 seconds, and then after they give me 10 seconds, and I have to speak on that image for continuously for 5 minutes. I have to be as much creative as I can. So I got the image of a fidget spinner. I have to speak on fidget spinner for around 5 minutes, and luckily I also cleared that round. And then after that, the HR called me for the technical round. In technical round, firstly there was the formal greetings from the interviewer, and then after that he started asking me questions from the DS. He gave me a stack question, and as I gave him the solution, he keep on creating its restraints and constraints in that section. That discussion we had lasted around 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. It was really a difficult question of stack. And then after that, what he asked me that what is the proficiency in language Java? I said I'm good, but I'd like to answer in C++. So then he started asking me questions from C++, and he kept on asking me until I was unable to answer. Then at the end, he asked me something that I don't know. I just said, yes, sir, I've never heard about this before. Then after that, he opened up my resume and he started asking me questions from my resume. Actually, my resume is quite large. I worked on so much technology, so he asked me so many questions. And whether called it bad luck or not, he was the technical head of the Spring Boot. He was handling this, and I worked on Spring Boot like around 5 to 3 projects. So he kept on asking me the questions from me, but luckily I answered all the questions. And after that, what the main thing is that at last he gave me a table, and then he asked me around if it's a GBMS question. Asked me to write queries related to that table. One was easy, and next one was tough. And then the last part was the HR round. Generally, people take the HR round very easy and not, but HR round actually it was off-campus placement, so I had to impress the HR. So what I did was before, the night before the interview, I go through the LinkedIn. I read everything about theirs on Avizva about on LinkedIn, like the company size, tech stack they are working. So when the HR came and she asked me that, do you know anything about Avizva? I told her everything, like number of employees you are having, tech stack you are working, or anything, what projects you are working on, and everything. And she got actually impressed, and she told me that then skip the basic question that where do you see yourself in 5 years and all. I think you are already prepared. And she asked me something that. She asked me a quite difficult question that when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you are excited about? And then she asked me, apart from your resume and your technical background in college, what things you would like to tell to Avizva? And then after the HR interview, I got a call from the HR next day that I am selected for the process, and they gave me the letter of intent. That was my technical interview with Avizva.
Okay, okay. So this was all about the interview rounds. Okay, so there were, as you mentioned, there were 5 rounds, right? So
Yeah.
which round was your favorite? Like, okay, so you had this thought, ki, I can do this. Nobody can stop me in this round. Which was your favorite round there?
Actually, my favorite round was the interview round. Interview round has always been my favorite round. Actually, in interview round, not only the interviewer gets to know me, you yourself gets to know that what are your weaknesses, what are your quality, and what question he'll throw, and will I be able to answer or not. And many times it occurs that the question they ask you don't know, but still you come up with a solution, and that's the challenging part of interview. So I enjoyed interview rounds more.
Okay, okay. So, Azam, this was about the interview round. So, let's just discuss about how your coding journey started. Okay, so how did you started your coding journey? So, just some bullet points here, some glimpse of your coding journey here.
My coding journal actually started in back in from 11th class. I opted for C++ as it was the scoring subject there. But by the time I completed 12, the only only thing know about computer is that CPU is the brain of computer and nothing else. Then I got into the first year as I was from C++ background and I learned C++ in 11, 12. So I continues started on data structure from C++. It would save me the time. But in first year, the first year went mostly in the academics and roaming around here as we all do in first year. So I was not able to perform practice on DSA and coding much in first year. In the second year, we got the projects from college projects, which is if you want to be in the tech industry, there's a push you need. That second year project was the push that I was into the tech industry, and I worked on internships and projects for around 2 to 3 years. It was in the late third year that a company came our campus for hiring to hire interns. It was a very simple, like a very basic level coding questions were there, but I was not able to solve them. That was the biggest failure of my life, and I got a hit from that I really need to work on my DSA and coding. So I started coding late in the third year, like the third year would be like sixth semester. I started coding. I decided that I will code for 2 hours daily. So when I get back from to home from college, I fix 2 hours at night. That from 12 to 2, I have to do coding. That's it. Nothing else from in that time. So for months I did that, and then the lockdown happened. So in lockdown, yeah, I prepared coding like in our lives at some point we have a wallpaper on our screen which says code, sleep, eat, and repeat. I actually did the same in the lockdown. I really worked out hard in lockdown to improve my DSA. I built myself from because I started late. I had no knowledge of DSA, so I see lockdown as a very good opportunity to learn coding and all. Yeah, that's how my coding journey started.
Okay, that's really good, and I can see that you have so much. You have done so much of hard work. So, just as you have mentioned that your resume was very sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Are you fine, man?
I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened to me. But
It's
as
fine.
you mentioned that your resume was a very large, a big resume. So when there were questions from your resume, so were there any questions from the projects and the internship that you have done? And what do you think? How much role projects and internships plays when you are, appearing for any interview?
Actually, all the questions were mostly a major part of my interview was from my resume itself. I think resume internships play a very vital role because apart from the coding and data structures, interview needs to know something about you else. Like, are you aware of the technologies that what's going around you? And just coding is the technologies are just implementation of the coding itself. So we also have to be experienced in that field also. Apart from that, every company looks for an experienced individual. So if you have internship experiences, you will be having experience, little not the very vast experience, but a little experiences of how things work in industry and what are the how they are managing things and all. So by pursuing internship, you get to know about these things, and apart from that, you have something to write in your resume. If you don't have any internship, or what you write in your resume, just DSA and nothing else. And what are the key skills that the skills we write in resume are the most important thing. I think so. We should be working on internships and projects. At least we should pursue 2 internships. That's what I think.
Okay, so let me just ask a question on your projects. Okay, so recently you must have done a project because you are in the last semester of your graduation, right? So can we discuss something about what have you done in your projects?
Actually, my tech stack is like, as I've told, it's very big. I have projects ranging from Android apps to web apps to ML and AI. Like I have in the second year, I created an attendance management app. Then there is a service that I created, a Kotlin service from where we can upload files to server and compress them. I have around 2 to 3 apps published on Play Store, like a marriage app, a dating app, and loan apps types of these. And in my final year, I created the image captioning project. It's a part of our minor project. It's an image recognition system where we caption the images.
Okay, okay, that's really great. So, Azam, let me ask the last question that we have for you, and then we'll move on to the comment section. Okay, so the last question that I want to ask is some tips and tricks that one must keep in mind while preparing for interviews.
One of the greatest tip that I want to give is that before the interview, read everything about the company on whether LinkedIn or company's website. And one of the major issues now time is that the live coding thing. Actually, what interviewers they give you the question and then they ask you to code live in front of them on a shared editor. So just trust me that coding on yourself and then coding live in front of someone is way too difficult. And like there's a thing in your mind which constantly striking you that yeah, the interviewer is watching me, the interviewer is watching me, and you make silly mistakes there, you forget corner cases. So I would like to advise you to practice for that live coding as much as you can. Practice for the apart from that, it never happened to you that you were in virtual interviews, that these virtual interviews now going these days. So practice virtual interviews. What I did for practicing virtual interviews is that I applied everywhere. Now, whether it's my tech stack or not, I want to work in that company, and I applied just to get the opportunity to get interviewed, so that I can gain experiences from that interviews. So these are the advices I would like to give you, and also work on your communication skills, because in virtual interviews we don't have that direct physical contact, eye contact, and that we establish with the interviewer. We don't have that, so you really need to know how to express yourself.
That's really that's a fact, because you have to practice and uh, you have to brush up your skills whenever you are going for an interview, and that's really great. Okay, so Azam, these are the questions that we had for you. So let's see how many questions you have from the comment section. And okay, so guys, drop in your questions in the comment section and let us discuss about some questions. Okay. Okay, so I'm just looking at the comment section if I could find any of question for you. Okay. Okay, so I am taking this question from Shambhavi, and her question is, what was your preparation strategy?
My preparation is strategy. Actually, I started preparing with the coding itself, and I worked on data structure and algorithm. For around a month and a half, I practiced on data structure and algorithm. But then I realized that only this won't going to help us. We also need to work on the aptitude, because before the coding round, there's an aptitude round, and if you don't clear the aptitude round, there's no sense of coding round. So I purchased the book from the market, and what the strategy in my mind was just to prepare for the aptitude round. After that, I decided to go with academic subjects also, because in interviews they are going to ask you from DBMS, OOPS, and computer networks and all. So my strategy was simple. It was just aptitude first. When I completed the book, I completed that book in a week. Aptitude is just simple. So what my strategy was, I was preparing for the academic subjects, and in parallel with that, I was preparing for my coding. In academic subjects, this is the time where you are confused whether to go for gate or not. So I think you all will be confused regarding that. So what I did, I picked up four subjects like DBMS, OOPS, and other operating system and all. I learned them, I practiced each of these subjects very well, and then parallel with that, I was doing with my coding stuff. So these subjects will help me in the gate also and in interviews also. So that was my preparing strategy.
Okay, that's really great. Shambhavi, I think your question has been answered here. Azam, let's take other question. Okay, so it's from Sidra Taslim. The question is, how were you able to work on so many projects?
That's actually a good question. I was about to tell you that working on so many projects is simple. What I did is first I select a tech that on which tech I want to work. I go to its documentation. I read everything about the tech. It would hardly take 10 to 15 days to read the documentation thoroughly. And then after that, I go to the YouTube. I created a dummy project on that tech, so that I'm having good knowledge. Then I start spamming the intern. Inshallah, please give me an internship on that stack. And whenever I find an internship on that stack, I start working with the company. In that way, I improve myself and get skilled in that tech. And then when internship is done, I move to another project or another tech step.
Okay, so we have answered Sidra's question as well. Okay, I'm taking one more question from Vignesh Kumar, and his question is, which language do you prefer? Okay, We are just intermediate in Java, Python, and C++. plus plus.
I don't prefer actually any language to you. It's just take only one language and make command over that language. Let's take my case. I know around 7 to 8 languages, but I am having a very strong command in C++ itself. Because you have to code in only one language. You cannot code in more than one language. Make command over only one language. It's your choice whether to choose Java to Python or C++. But if I would suggest you, I would suggest not to go with Python because many companies in their the message that they send in it's written there that you cannot use Python. You can only use C++, C, and Java. So choose between these three languages. That's what I would suggest.
Okay, okay. So let's. We have one question from Sandeep Deglori. His question is, which language is best for CP?
Okay, he'll ask me about the competitive programming. As I've told, I think I just answered your question, and the previous question was also the same. There's no language best for you. Actually, the beauty of our program is that no language is best for competitive programming. Languages are best for you. Which language you understand better, go with it. Just so you can try all the languages, and which language suits you better, just go with that.
Okay, okay. So, Azam, I'm taking this last question from Harsh. Okay.
So, are trying to suggest some projects related to web development for placement. Yeah, and are you fine, ma'am? Yeah, okay, okay. So, yeah, so projects related to web development for placement. You can take, there are so many projects on for web development for placement. You can take the e-commerce projects basically. I would like to say because and nowadays e-commerce is in demand and every company is somehow asking for the e-commerce developer. So it will be beneficial if you are already having the knowledge of the e-commerce itself. So I would like to suggest you to work on the daily on e-commerce things.
Okay. Thank you, Azam, for answering this question from Harsh. And I think we can take up only these questions because of the time constraint. So, any advice would you would like to give to the audience? So, anything from your side, any buys and all this stuff.
I would like to give, as I said, this practice more and more on the live coding thing. Also, be confident and increase your communication skills. Also, there's one more thing that I would like to tell you that uh, one of the major issues is that people write so many technologies in resume. That, even though if they know the basics of something, they put it in the into their resume. That is the wrong thing. Actually, the interview got you there. It happened to me. I'm telling you this from the personal experience. I worked on only one project in HTML, and I write that project in resume. There are the six other projects, but the interview caught me. Once I was interviewing with the interview, and he caught me, and he started asking me about HTML only. Within few seconds, he got the idea that I know nothing about the HTML, very basic HTML. So started asking me questions on the HTML itself, and then I realized that we should not put those technologies and projects which we are not confident about. Only put those technologies in which you have in which you have worked and you know everything about the technology. Only put those technologies, nothing else apart from.
Okay, that's really great. And thank you, Azam, for coming and sharing your experience and answering the questions from the audience also. And I wish you luck for your for your joining in Avizva. And please stay safe and stay healthy at your home.
Yes, you too, and everyone stay safe. I wish. Also, feel free to connect me on LinkedIn. I think it's in description on my LinkedIn profile. You can ask any questions.
Yes, exactly. If if anyone's question has not been answered, they can connect with Azam on his LinkedIn profile. And for that, we have given the LinkedIn profile of Azam in the description. So you go through the description and connect with Azam. Okay. Okay. So thank you, Azam. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure is mine, actually.
Okay, guys, so this was it for today, and I'm so sorry that I don't know what happened to me today. Okay, so we have two things for you. First is that if you guys want to be part of these interview preparation strategies webinar, then go through the description, and there is a Google form. You fill out that form and fill out your details, and we'll connect with you for your interview preparation strategies webinar. Also, we have an app, GFG app, so you can go and download the app from the Play Store, and you can study from an app also. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for asking all the questions. And if your question has not been answered, you can please go ahead and connect with Azzam on his LinkedIn. And thank you so much for being such a good audience and for asking questions. I hope these webinars helps you a lot.